Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Sunday Reset video. My name is Tiffany, and I am so happy to have you joining me today. We're going to get started today by getting breakfast going for my family. Now, weekends are a special treat here in our house. Sometimes we get to sleep in when we don't have early soccer games, and this was a blessing of a weekend. We didn't have anywhere to be, no soccer games this weekend because of the holiday. So I decided I was going to treat my family with a delicious breakfast. So we're getting started with this new little waffle maker I picked up at Target. It's this adorable little pumpkin waffle maker. I love these little dash waffle makers. They're so cute. I have one that's a heart. Definitely going to have to get one for Christmas. So just getting started here with my favorite buttermilk waffle recipe. I'll have it linked for you down below, and then we'll get started with some other items for breakfast. Make sure you grab a cup of coffee and let's relax together. Along with our delicious waffles today, we're going to make some bacon as well as some scrambled eggs. This is a typical breakfast in my house on the weekends. We usually switch it up between pancakes or waffles, bacon or sausage. Even sometimes we like to do more of a brunch style, but today we're going classic with some bacon and some scrambled eggs. I learned how to scramble eggs by watching one of my favorite chefs on TV, Ina Garten. She talked about cooking your eggs low and slow, and just every, couple of minutes or so, just gently scraping along the bottom of the pan. So that's how I like to cook my eggs, low and slow, and readily stir them. I'm going to go ahead and flip over the bacon, and we're just going to keep making the waffles. I just kept adding one after the other to make sure there was plenty for everybody in the house. We had extra guests this morning with significant others of my children. So I made sure that I made a lot of breakfast to feed everybody's hungry tummies. On this gloriously beautiful fall day, Danny and I had a lot of things on our to-do list, a lot of just regular housework, like tons of laundry, as well as yard work and just getting some things done around the house. We had also purchased a brand new TV during an early Black Friday sale through Target, so I wanted to get that put up as well. And we just wanted to spend a lot of time today as a family, and I think we did just that. Now that breakfast is done, before I get started on cleaning up the kitchen, I'm going to flip over the laundry. I had already got some started this morning. This is something I feel like I'm always doing. I feel like there's always a load in the wash. There's always a load in the dryer. With 7 of us living here in this house, there's always laundry to be done. If you're new to my channel, my name is Tiffany, like I said earlier, and I'm married to my sweet husband, Danny. We've been married now for 16 years, and we have 5 amazing children. We have a 16-year-old daughter, about to be 16. She's 15. We have a 13-year-old son who is about to be 14. We have, and then we have 3 little boys, 10, 8, and 7. And we are very, very busy. We are both educators. We work full time. And my husband coaches soccer, and we're just always on the go. So, and I have YouTube here. This is like a second full-time job. So hopefully one day, maybe it'll be just one full-time job. We'll see. But we are very, very busy and very, our house is very full. So we're just always going, always something to do, always something to clean, always laundry to be done. So here we are now in the living room. I'm going to go ahead and help Danny get this TV out. Now, like I said, we had purchased this through Target on an early Black Friday sale. If you do not have the Target app and you don't get notifications, I would highly recommend that you keep an eye for things like this. We scored this 65-inch TV for $250. It was on major sale, so I think it was like half price. So we've been having our eye open for a new TV for this space because it's a pretty big wall, and we wanted to fill it up a little bit more with a TV, and we were just really, really thankful that we found one on a really good sale. So while Danny is working on getting the new mount onto the wall, I'm going to go ahead and work on cleaning up the kitchen. I get asked all the time how I keep my house tidy, how I stay up on things, and you're going to see in this video that I literally am multitasking all day long. You'll see later on in this video exactly what I mean, but I really just never stop. And between Danny and I, we're always, doing something, cleaning something, working on a project, doing something with the kids. There's just always something happening. Very, very rarely will you see us sit and do nothing. In fact, every night when Danny and I do sit down to do nothing and to watch TV and veg out, he's asleep in 15 minutes. So we're just always on the move, and that's okay. I kind of like that. So we're going to get this kitchen cleaned up, and then we're going to get back to hanging up the TV. I want you to take a look at my face there. This is the face of a woman who is super disappointed that I had just finished scrubbing the sink, and then I turned around and realized that I hadn't washed the pots. Does this happen to you? It happens to me all the time. So we're going to go ahead and scrape these out into the trash can, and then we're going to get them washed up and put away. While those pots are soaking a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and clean off the stove. It's definitely really dirty and greasy, needs to be cleaned, especially after cooking all that bacon. So we're going to go ahead and get this cleaned up. I'm using the Method grapefruit cleaner. However, that was just to kind of get the beginning crumbs up, but it definitely doesn't get it all the way clean. It usually does better if I use the degreaser. I use the Method degreaser, and that seems to work really, really well because I get a lot of gunk here on the stove. I'm cooking all the time. As you're going to see in this video, I cook 2 full meals on this stove in this video alone. So it gets really, really dirty, and typically I'll use the Method degreaser, but today I used the grapefruit cleaner, and it just smells really good and fresh. So now we're going to get these pots scrubbed up here and ready to go. And while I was cleaning up my caraway pan here, I did realize that it had some marks along the bottom. So I'm going to use my barkeeper's friend to scrub the bottom and get it looking new. So this shot gives you a really great vantage point of Danny and I both working at the same time, chatting it up, still enjoying each other's company, but just working away. He's working to get that TV mounted, and I'm working to get the kitchen cleaned back up. We're always working, always a team. He's the best. Now that I'm done scrubbing the kitchen, I'm just going to grab a little bit of hand lotion. My hands get so beat up from the well water and just constantly doing the dishes. That's my favorite hand lotion. I have it on auto subscribe from Amazon. It's incredibly cheap. It's less than $5, and it does wonders to my hands. I will have it linked for you down below to check it out. It is seriously the best hand lotion. I have it on my desk at work, in my purse, as well as right here by my sink. Check it out if you have super dry hands. Now we're going to go ahead and get the laundry flipped over again. Today my goal was just to fold everything straight out of the dryer so that I could make sure that it actually got folded and put away. I did make piles throughout the day here in the laundry room until the laundry was done, and then everybody put their clothes away at the end of the day. But this was the most effective for me this day because I really did have a ton of laundry to get done. I also just want to take a quick second to acknowledge that I know a lot of this video is sped up more than I usually speed things up. However, when I first started editing this video, it was over 2 hours worth of content, which definitely didn't want to put out a 2-hour video. My husband was like, it's basically a movie, and he's not wrong. So I needed to speed things up in order for this video to be manageable. So sorry it's a lot faster than you're used to, but hopefully you don't mind and you prefer it being chock full of content. Now that Danny has the new mount on the wall, we're ready to hang the TV. What he's doing there is feeding the plug into the wall. We do have a tube in the wall that allows for the wires to go into the wall and then get plugged in down at the bottom. And it's just a way to keep everything kind of cordless looking. However, there is a little bit of cord there from our sound bar, but love how the TV turned out. It looks really nice on the wall. Danny's going to go ahead and get it set up, and I'm ready to have a good movie night. To try out the TV, I decided to put on one of my favorite things, and that is a really warm and cozy ambiance video. I've got a couple of my favorite YouTubers that make some of the most beautiful coffee shop ambiances. I'll have them linked for you down below. They're free on YouTube with beautiful music, and it really does set the mood in your house. I've been playing these in my office and my house for several years now, and they just bring such a warm and cozy vibe. Now we're going to go ahead and move outside. Danny's going to get started by sweeping the grass as well as mowing it. I will say that we filmed this last weekend, and this weekend every single tree is bright yellow and the leaves are just covering the grass like a blanket. It's crazy. He is having to use the sweeper, every couple of days, and that way it's just keeping the grass from being too moist and creating mildew or a fungus on the grass. So it's important that we get the leaves up. So good thing he bought this fancy tool here to keep the leaves up and to pick up the clippings. But man, the leaves are falling at a very alarming rate. We're going to have bare trees in no time. While he's working outside, I'm going to go ahead and take a minute here to get the fingerprints off of our storm door. Really, I'm just making a clean palette for them to create more. Next up, before I start cooking dinner, I'm just going to do a really quick little wipe down of the powder room. Just make sure that that's cleaned up. I like to try to keep this really clean in case we ever have guests just swing by. So I try to wipe it down every couple of days, at least the sink and the toilet, just to keep those clean, especially because I have 3 little boys, and you know, sometimes the toilet isn't as clean as it would be if I didn't have 3 little boys. So I try to keep it wiped down regularly. Now we're going to go ahead and get started with dinner. Tonight I am making a special sandwich that I learned from my cousin Susan while we were camping this summer. And it's just a chicken cutlet with some cheese. You're supposed to put bacon on it, but we had bacon for breakfast, so we didn't do bacon tonight. And then you sauce it up with some Russian dressing. So right now I'm just working on preparing a space to dredge my chicken. I'm going to get that cooked up. While that's cooking, I've got some frozen French fries in the oven in the air fryer. And I'm dredging my chicken today with panko, as well as some seasoned breadcrumbs and some Parmesan cheese with a little bit of salt and pepper. And that's it. And I do have a whole video where I talk about how I make my chicken cutlets. I'll have that linked for you down below. I'm going to fry them in a little bit of vegetable oil, and then we will toast up the sandwiches and melt the cheese. And these are absolutely delicious, and they feed a crowd for a really affordable price. I'm getting started by thinly slicing my chicken breasts. So these were really, really thick. So I cut them down to 3 pieces, makes them easier to cook, and you know, everybody doesn't need a giant chicken breast like that. So slicing those up, we'll get them dredged and get them into the hot oil.
You and me, darling, you've got to keep holding on through the night, 'cause I promise you try to get some sleep. If you give up the fight, if only just for a bit. There's a new day, it is waiting for us. There's a new day waiting.
While those are cooking, I'm going to go check on my comforter. I had to keep kind of rotating it and turning it inside out and then turning it right side in, just to make sure that the whole thing dried, because it definitely wasn't drying as quickly. You know, it would just get all kind of rolled up into a ball. So I needed to move it around a lot. But this is, again, me just multitasking. I'm cooking the chicken. It takes, you know, a good 7 or 8 minutes per chicken breast. So while those are cooking, I just try to find other things that I can be doing around the house, like switching over the laundry, which I'm about to do right now. And then I also work on cleaning up some other areas in the kitchen. You can see the sun is setting in the front of the house. It's got that beautiful glow. Such a great time of day. I love this time of day. Danny was outside blowing off all of the grass shavings from cutting the lawn, and the boys were all playing outside, riding their bikes, playing with our new neighbors. It was seriously just such a beautiful day. Another thing I chose to do while I was cooking was to clean the appliances. Just, again, something else I could do in the vicinity that needs to get done regularly that I could do while the chicken was cooking. Time to prepare our bread for our sandwiches. So I'm grabbing a cookie sheet here, a sheet pan, and I'm just spraying it a little bit with Pam, just a tad, so the bread doesn't stick or burn. And then you're going to get sub rolls. These were already cut, so I'm just opening these, laying them out open faced on my sheet pan. And then we're going to add chicken to each sandwich, and then we're going to also add our cheese. So for this, I'm using my typical Cabot Vermont sharp cheddar. This is my absolute favorite. It's very sharp and has a delicious bite to it. So I'm just cutting up those pieces and laying them out evenly across the chicken. And then we're going to pop this into the broiler just for about 2 minutes, if that. Keep a really close eye so it doesn't burn. Just enough to get them nice and melty and toasty, and doesn't take any time at all. I'm going to pop these in, and then literally about a minute to a minute and a half, I'm going to take them right back out. No cleaning anything in between this job. So then your bread is toasty and your chicken is ready to go. I'm just going to top this with some Russian dressing. This is delicious, I promise. And if you're making this, add the bacon. Just don't have it for breakfast that day so you're not overdoing it. We're going to dish this up with our French fries that I've seasoned with Lowry seasoned salt, and we're going to chow down. I hope you enjoyed spending the day with us. I know we didn't do a crazy amount of cleaning, but I do promise you we did not sit down this day until the very end when the day was over. I hope you enjoyed seeing some real life Sunday reset, and if you did, please consider giving this video a big thumbs up. I'd love to have you subscribe and come back for more. I post new videos every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I will see you, my friends, in the next one. Have a great day and a great week. I'll see you soon.